So obviously very familiar with the track. That's no, but it doesn't matter really. You go to different tracks, you go to you adapt quickly, and other than Vincent, I think every other track are pretty similar. A different distance and stuff. But.
It's a nice change for your friends like Arjan and Björn.
Yeah, for sure. It was nice to see them. Two great guys. I'm a very good friend with them. So, but they've raced here before. It's nothing, too serious for them.
Tell us about Alexis Cody.
He's, his career form, obviously, last start he was unbelievable. The week before he was as well. It's been a few months. He's matured a lot. He's a lot better than he was, at the beginning of the season. And I think right now all systems are go for him.
What are your thoughts about your post position?
It's okay, it probably is not the post that I would pick, but he, as long as he minds his manner, he'll be all right. The turns is not the problem for him. I've repeated this all week. He can trot the turn faster than he can trot the straightaway, so that it's really not an issue. Just navigate the traffic in the first turn, and then we'll go from there.
That's important here at Yonkers. What's the most important thing to win a race here?
Well, the inside track is big, no doubt. I think you can't be out there. I mean, it's going to be a little bit different. Obviously, the tempo is going to be a little bit slower than regular races. Being on the outside doesn't hurt quite as much. But if you're really going with a mile race, being on the inside, it helps. If you're outside 2 or 3 turns, it's really a big disadvantage. So, trying to save some ground a little bit. But then again, like having post run, you're kind of at the mercy of what's happening in the first turn. Adjust and see what everybody else is doing.
What can we say about your other horses today?
But this one coming up here, I don't know much about her. She's been racing well, but obviously she's up in class a little bit. So, we'll get to know her in the post parade.
Racing Rebel?
Racing Rebel, Ronnie really likes the horse. He's been racing really good. They've had him, a few months now, and he's really been racing really good. Obviously, he's racing Ohio. He's racing good horses there too, but this is, Captain Albano is a real horse, so it's another step up in the competition for him, but obviously post 2 is a good spot for him.
A bit later on, you've got your own horse.
Yeah, exciting, Antonioni. I wish he drew a little bit better, but he loves this track. He gets around the turn so good. He's fast. He's handy. I can do what I want with him. So no doubt, we'll go forward out of the gate. And again, you just got to see what everybody else is doing and adapt to, if there's a spot or not.
Tell us his story.
Of Antonioni?
Yeah.
Thomas Venson actually is who found him. We had been talking for quite a while actually to find a horse from Sweden or from Europe. I didn't want nothing too cheap. I wasn't looking for like a horse to race in this lower condition. I wanted a horse that was a little bit better caliber. And I told him, I said, once you find one, just let me know. And then he called me that week about this horse. He was qualified for the Breeders' Crown in Sweden. I watched a lot of replay. I made a lot of phone calls to some friends I have in Europe, and everybody kind of had a good opinion on him. We probably paid at the beginning, at that time, a little more than we wanted to. We went above budget quite a bit, but definitely no regrets. He came here as advertised. Team Enormous did a great job with him, and he had nothing but good words to say about him when I messaged him about the horse. So I really appreciate his input as well. And but he just made for the smaller tracks. Like he's great here. Maybe the Meadowlands or like he's that. We'll see next year if it's his cup of tea. But right now the smaller track he really enjoys them.
You've got plenty of racing here at Yonkers.
Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with this. I love racing him here. Like I said, I raced here all winter, so it's where I started. That's when I first came from Canada. Yonkers was home, so it's always nice to race here.
Thanks, Yanick. Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
We can do them in order of the race. Number 1, Lexus Cody is racing with shoes on. Number 2, Gamin Jabba is racing with no shoes. He's been out doing the warm-up. They seem happy with him. I'm not sure. I'll get back to you really quickly about you, Cash, because Daniel Weierstein wanted to decide after the warm-up, and I think he's just come off the track a couple of seconds ago. He's just coming off the track right now. Powwow, number 4, no shoes. Atos Chronos, no shoes either. Double Deceiver, no shoes. Southwind Course, no shoes. Diva Eck, no shoes. Periculum is racing with no shoes in front. He's keeping his shoes behind, I think. Matthias Melander just told me about that. They might make a little change after the warm-up. I'll keep you updated about that. And number 10, Onek, is racing with no shoes also. That's the way he's the very best.
Thanks so much, Kristin. We're going to go back through those in case you missed them. Lexus Cody races with shoes. Gamin Jabba races without shoes. Geocache, he's going to find out for us. Pow Wow will race without shoes. Atos Kronos, no shoes. Double Deceiver, no shoes. Southwind Cores, no shoes. Diva Ek, no shoes. Periculum, interesting here, no shoes up front, will wear shoes behind, and Honek will race without shoes. So a bunch of the horses in here, Peter, are going to race without shoes in this international trot.
Yeah, and we've seen that work sometimes, and we've seen it not work sometimes. Last year it didn't work, but we saw Oki win a race a few years ago with Resolver. He took them off, and that horse just flew around the track. And so we'll see how that plays out. But the track is in Ed Angel, the track superintendent, has the track in just a terrific condition today. The weather's been kind to us, and Ed's been on top of that all week, trying to make sure that the track was the way we want it to be, and it'll be good for all the competitors.
All right, we're going to take a quick look at a clip here. It is the Norrbotten Stora Prix. Geocache is the contender coming out of this. Here, Geocache is once again on the lead with Working Class Hero breathing down his neck on the outside of rivals. And Peter, the same old warhorse, he just digs down deep and finds more.
Yeah, and again, this was one that's had just a solid year. You know, I don't know prior to the year if they could have signed up for anything. They would have signed up for far less than what they received, and but he's just been really good. And again, beating very talented horses in the process, including the great Don Vanucci Zet. So Geocache is a real contender here. Drew the 3-hole in an interesting spot. Of course, you got Lexus Cody down on the inside, so he's going to have to deal with that potentially. And you know, you heard the respect that Orjan Kihlstrom has. He's been competing with Geocache, knows exactly what he's got to confront. But Geocache, I think, is one of your main contenders, and offers a very interesting 12-1 on the morning line.
One more clip we want to take a look at. Here it is from the Group 1 Copenhagen Cup. It is the lone mare in the field, Diva Ek. And I have a soft spot for mares in general, but this was such a big effort from